حي على الفلاح.
The pressure on us to look perfect is so much that we become embarrassed of our own selves. Your real identity that Allah gave you, you're too embarrassed to actually acknowledge it and love it and like it. Islam teaches you to love yourself as Allah made you. You look at yourself in the mirror and you say, Alhamdulillah, I am good looking, mashallah, and you are, no matter what. I see some of the guys are looking at me like, you're the first guy telling me this. Okay, it's okay. You are, mashallah. You are good looking. You must love yourself. Allah made you. يا أيها الإنسان ما غرك بربك الكريم. Oh man, what has deceived you and driven you away from your Lord who is the most honoring? الذي خلقك فسواك فعدلك في أي صورة ما شاء ركبك. Allah is the one who made you. He fashioned you. He gave you your identity. He actually shaped your face. He gave you your image. He gave you who you are. How can you turn away from Allah? The Quran is saying, oh man, what has deceived you to turn away from your own Lord who made you? He gave you your eyes and your nose, your ears, your lips, your tongue, your cheeks, and whatever else you have. Allah gave you this identity. How can you turn away from Allah? That's what Allah is saying. You've got to love yourself as you are, with the blemishes. And you know what? We have to make it a norm to be okay with a few blemishes and marks and spots on our faces, so that we can have mercy on the new generation who would feel normal when they are really normal. Because if we were to live a life that was only a filtered life, where we were embarrassed to the degree that we would not even be able to answer the door simply because of what we're looking like, in that case, we would be enslaved. A very sensitive topic. There have been, in the last few months, several divorces that have taken place, and I have had people come to me to ask me about the divorce, saying, is it okay to divorce this person because now that I've married them, they look nowhere near what I knew them as before marriage. And I say, what do you mean? Guess what it was? Take a guess. Makeup. I heard it from the women themselves. It's not a good thing, it's not a bad thing. It's something, it's okay. But do you not agree that there is a limit to it? The question that I wanted to pose, and I don't want to answer it. I don't want to answer it because you need to answer it. Is it the right of the man and the woman, notice I'm adding the woman there, to see each other prior to marriage without makeup? Is it a right? Can someone say, listen, I'd like to meet you, but without makeup at all? Is it their right to say that? Would you be offended? Would you be ready and prepared to go and see the person whom you want to share the rest of your life with no makeup, just yourself? The men are silent because I see men also put on makeup nowadays. It's a fact. It's a fact. You'd be surprised. You see a good-looking guy and you wonder. Next thing, where did that come from? May Allah forgive us. They say, no, it's equality. I'm allowed to do it as well. Okay. No comment. No comment. But the question is, we should not be embarrassed. Listen, we are Muslims. Be proud of your face, your looks, no problem. You are allowed to touch up here and there. You are allowed to use a little bit of makeup. Nobody's saying it's totally haram. Like I said earlier, you can't say this is totally haram or totally halal. You've got to know where and what. But when marriage is being spoken about, there is a right. There is a right of the people. And you need to know that right. And that's why I say the question, and I want to ask it, and I'm going to ask it, and I'm going to stir this controversy, inshallah, online. Is it right for the guy to say, listen, I'd like to meet you with no makeup? Would you be offended? That's the question. You guys have answered it, but online, perhaps it will be a different answer, because here it's in person. In the same way that it's easy to spread bad on earth through social media. When I say bad, I mean vulgar words, maybe abusive things, maybe, pornographic words. When I say pornographic words, sometimes it's not an image, but it's just, the words are so filthy, man. People say, but why is Islam so hard? It's not. It's actually Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and all major religions that will tell you, do you know what? This type of word or these type of words are wrong. You should avoid them. You should abstain from them. So, like I said, if you hear the words before you repost or before you mimic and before you actually act in it, listen to it. If it's bad, cut it. Wallahi, you will achieve success. To stop something that you were tempted to do for the pleasure of Allah is a great act of worship. Very big act of worship. Allah will be pleased with you because of the barakah, the blessings of your abstention will be felt in your life in other ways. It will be felt. When you do good, the good comes back to you. When you do bad, the bad comes back to you. That's how Allah's created us. So if I stopped myself from doing bad, it's going to come back to me in a nice way, inshallah. And then what do? Increase the good. So I want you guys to go back to your social media profiles. Whenever you have a chance, tonight, tomorrow, whenever it may be, whatever app you have, whatever social media you're on, whether it's TikTok or Instagram or Snapchat or whatever else it might be, take a look at your use of it. How do you use it? What do you do? What are your posts? Fair enough, right? Your posts. When you look at your post, tell yourself, what category does this fall into? If there is only bad, all I'm telling you to do, and I don't want to be too hard on anyone because we're living in the real world. When you're hard on people, they run away. All you've got to do is, when you notice there's a lot of bad happening, meaning there's a lot of posts that are not going to help me on the day of judgment. For example, we are believers. Start doing good ones. Small reminder, one small reminder, a short 5-second clip, a reminder of something that you think is pleasing to Allah. Is it difficult? Is it difficult? If it's a prayer, if it's some encouragement to do something, to give a little charity, encouragement to attend a talk such as this one, encouragement maybe to improve 1 millimeter in your dress code, male and female, encouragement perhaps to read a word of the Quran. Do you know what? That could be your ticket to Jannah. People will watch it, they will see it, they'll be affected by it. It goes in your record, and mashallah, at least on the day of judgment, when you're just about to be given all your stuff to watch, you're going to be thinking, hey, I've got those 2-3 posts that I put. Yeah, let's look for them. I'm sure Allah will be so happy to see those. Do you agree with what I'm trying to say? There it goes. So do those few. And when you start that and you see the result of it, you will notice, I wasted my time with 5-10 posts and I've got 1-2 good ones. 5-10 wasted time, 1-2 good ones. 5-10 wasted time, 3-4 good ones. And so on until you improve yourself in a big way. What I'm talking about is not even the ideal. I'm talking about reality, realistic. The ideal would be, don't use it at all for bad. Use it only for good. The ideal would be, use it only to encourage people to get closer to Allah in one way or another. But none of us live in the ideal world. This whole world is not ideal. Realistically speaking, we do have a problem. And that's why we're here talking about it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthen us. Thank you so much for listening to this short message. I pray that it has increased you in a little bit of motivation and hope. And the same applies to all of us. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.